Today we will be showing you how to install a new compression shutoff valve onto a copper supply line. If at any time you feel uncomfortable with the project, please consult a licensed plumber for assistance. Tools and supplies needed for the job are a pail and rag to catch excess water when removing the shutoff valve, pipe cutter used to remove the old valve, deburring tool. Generally, the pipe cutter will include this tool as an attachment on the tube cutter itself and is used to remove the sharp edge from the inside of the copper tube. 2 adjustable wrenches for tightening connections, oil or thread sealant used to lubricate the threads during installation, new supply line, and a new shutoff valve. There are 2 general types of shutoff valves used. A quarter turn valve, which requires a quarter turn of the handle when opening or closing the shutoff valve, and the multi-turn valve, which requires several turns of the handle to control the water flow. Today we are using a Brascraft multi-turn compression shutoff valve for the installation. The package should include a valve body, 2 compression rings, and 2 compression nuts. Installation instructions for the valve are included on the inside of the package. As you can see, we have already removed the old valve and water supply line. Before removing the existing valve, shut off the main water supply. Next, if possible, open a faucet at the lowest point of the dwelling. This could be an outdoor garden spigot or basement laundry tub faucet. This will relieve excess water in the system and reduce the amount of water that will escape once the existing valve is removed. Once the old valve and supply line have been removed, you will need to clean and deburr the end of the copper tube. Remove any paint or residue on the copper pipe. The tube itself should be free of any damage or buildup on the surface. Next, using the attached deburring tool, insert the tool inside the copper tube, apply pressure, and rotate the tool several times to remove the sharp edge inside the copper tube. Next, insert the larger of the 2 supplied compression nuts onto the tube with the threads facing towards the tube end. Then slide on the compression ring and push the nut and ring away from the tube end. Now slide the valve over the copper tube until you feel resistance. Orient the outlet of the valve into the desired location. In our case, the outlet is pointing up towards our fixture. If desired, place a small amount of oil or thread sealant only on the threads of the valve. This makes it easier to tighten the compression nut. While holding the valve in its proper orientation, hand tighten the nut. Once it is hand tight, place 1 wrench on the valve body and the other wrench onto the nut and tighten while holding the valve in its proper orientation. Tighten the compression nut approximately 1/2 turn. Next, attach the riser which connects the valve to the fixture. Follow the riser manufacturer's instructions for installation. Here we are using a flexible connector with a 3/8 compression type connection. In this case, the sealing components are built into the connector itself, so we can remove and discard the compression nut and ring supplied with the valve. Attach the nut onto the riser and tighten the nut according to manufacturer's instructions. Make sure that the valve is in the off position by turning the handle clockwise until you feel resistance. Turn the main water supply back on. Now open the valve. If connecting to a faucet, remove the faucet aerator and turn on the faucet. This will purge air from the lines and also flush through any contaminants. After running the water momentarily, turn off the faucet and check the valve and riser for leaks. If a leak is present, slightly tighten the appropriate nut. Remember to reattach the faucet aerator. The installation is now complete.